everyone, and welcome back to my CloudGuard portfolio project. This is project 16 of my 100 CloudGuard portfolio project. This project is the serverless data analytics pipeline. For this project, we're trying to build a fully scalable data analytics platform on AWS without provisioning a single server. In this video, I will show you how to ingest streaming data using Amazon Kinesis Firehose, store the data in S3 and transform it using Glue, and then query it using Amazon Athena, and then we can optionally visualize it with either Grafana or Amazon QuickSight. The best part is you only pay for what you use. So from this image right here, we have the data in S3 and then we ingest the data using Firehose. It goes through Glue for ETL, Amazon Athena for querying, and then we visualize it. So modern organizations generate massive volumes of data from application logs, IoT devices, transactional databases, and so on. So ingesting it in real time and then into a data lake and then transforming it is really important. This is the same serverless data lake architecture used by modern organizations to process massive amounts of data from different applications. So they do this while maintaining security, scalability, and cost efficiency. So in this video, if you're studying for an AWS certification, maybe solutions architect professional, building your cloud portfolio, or learning how to design real-world analytics solution, this project is the right project for you. Before we get started, I would appreciate if you can subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future hands-on AWS projects I'm covering. Also, if you'd like to access the CloudFormation templates, architecture diagrams, and step-by-step documentation, check the links in the description, and also check my CloudGuard portfolio website for the whole resource you need to deploy yours to. Let's walk through the architecture so you can understand what we're going to be building. So while building this project, you really need to understand the problems we're trying to solve here, or the problem we're trying to solve here. The traditional way is of transforming data and querying data is very complex, expensive, and painful. And so we're trying to modernize the data stack with no servers, no headaches. You only pay for what you use. So the traditional way is you manage a lot of clusters, you scale your storage manually, and you handle ETL jobs, which is going to be very expensive for you at the end of the day. By the modern way we're trying to go with it now, by creating a pipeline, is we have our data source, Kinesis ingests it, streams it at a large scale. S3, we're going to use S3 as our data lake. S3 can store raw data durably and infinitely if you want, and then AWS Glue to transform, then Athena to query, and then QuickSight or Grafana or any other visualization tool you have to visualize. So for this, no servers to provision, no infrastructure to manage, only pay for what you use. And this makes it, the benefits are the fact that it's cost effective, scalable, secure. You get faster insights, and then it's less operations too. So why do businesses use this pattern? First of all, the decoupling of storage from compute. When you store data and compute in the same place, it makes it computationally very hard. So here, if we decouple it, like S3 is the storage, but we are now using Athena to query and then Glue to transform. This relieves it of the computational issues when we have with storage. So this matters because we have unlimited scale, we have lower costs, agility, and flexibility. And for governance, risk, and compliance, we have IAM for strict access control, and then we have S3 for server-side encryption. And we can also have object lock if we want in our S3. and then CloudTrail for audit trail. So with this being said, let's jump into the architecture and I'll walk you through the stages we're going to go through. So for the architecture, the first stage is going to be the ingestion layer. Here we have Kinesis data firehose to stream raw data, and this provides a fully managed service to capture, transform, and then load streaming data. It automatically batches, compresses, and then delivers it to S3. It takes us to the storage layer. So the storage layer is going to be the S3. S3 is used as the central data lake for this project. So we're going to have the raw, with the prefix of raw is going to store the data in its original unaltered format, which is going to be JSON. And then with the prefix processed, is going to store the data after it has been cleaned and transformed and then partitioned, also converted to a columnar format like Parquet files, Apache Parquet. Then from there we go to the next layer, which is going to be the cataloging layer. With the cataloging layer, an S3 puts object events in this raw zone triggers an AWS Lambda function, and the Lambda function starts on the Glue ETL to perform the transformation from JSON to Parquet, and then an AWS Glue crawler runs to infer the schema and update the AWS Glue data catalog. And then the final stage is going to be the analytics stage. So we have Amazon Athena, which is going to be a serverless query service using, we're going to use the Glue data catalog to run standard SQL queries directly on the Parquet files in S3. And then we're going to optionally visualize with QuickSight or any BI tool you want to use, whether Grafana or any other BI tool you want to use for visualization. So with this being said, let's hop onto the AWS console and go ahead and build. So here on the AWS console, the first step is going to be to set up our storage and ingestion layer. And for this, we're going to be using a CloudFormation template to build that out. So for this, let's go ahead and create stack, and then we're going to upload our templates. I'm just going to go ahead and drag my templates. And by the way, this template is going to be available for you for download in the portfolio website. So here, go ahead and click next. Our stack name, we're going to name it the serverless stack name. Go ahead and click next. Just leave everything as default. Check this and then next, and then go ahead and submit. This is take about 2 or 3 minutes to create. So just give it a few minutes to create, and then I'm going to walk you through the templates. So here we're going to be creating an S3 bucket, and then of course our IAM role for Kinesis firehose, and then the firehose policy. We're going to be creating our Kinesis firehose. This is going to be the stream name, and then of course IAM role. Then we're going to be creating a database, a Glue database, and then a crawler, and that is all we are creating with the templates. Our stack is ready, everything has been deployed. So now that our stack has created our S3 bucket, our IAM roles, Kinesis firehose stream, our Glue database, and then the Glue crawler. The next thing we're going to do is to create the Glue ETL job. And so you want to navigate to the AWS Glue, go to the Glue ETL jobs, and then go to the script editor here. And then we're going to be using Spark, and then we're starting afresh. So let's just go ahead and create scripts. It's going to prompt you to change the boilerplate. So I'm just going to copy this. It's going to be, by the way, this is going to be available for you too. So I'm going to copy my code and just change the boilerplate here to my own code, and then go to job details. For the job name, we're going to call this our JSON to Parquet transformer. And for the IAM role, our stack has already created the IAM role for us. So we're just going to click on this and select it. And then it's going to be using Spark. Then we can use the latest one, which is going to be this one, and then the language is going to be Python, and then leave favorite Athena as default, and then go ahead and save. So the next step is going to be to test the pipeline. I'm going to be using the AWS Cloud Shell to push a sample JSON record into our Kinesis Firehose stream to simulate an IoT sensor sending temperature data into the stream. So this script here is gonna simulate an IoT device sending temperature data to the Firehose, and Firehose is gonna buffer the data. So after 60 seconds, if we check our S3 bucket, we should see a raw prefix folder created for us. So I already ran this. I'm gonna run it again so we can have multiple. There you go. So after 60 seconds, we're gonna go to our S3 buckets and then check and see if we have any data. So right now it's been 60 seconds. Let me go in our S3 bucket, just refresh. So there you go, we have the raw data here, and if we check it, it's partitioned for us, but it's not in the Parquet format yet. It's still in JSON format. So right now we're gonna go back and then run the glue, which is gonna go ahead and transform this into the Parquet format for us. So let's go back here, and then this is gonna be the job right here. So let's go ahead and run this. It's run successfully. If we give it a few seconds, let's go back here and check our jobs. So our job is still running. So this one failed. Let's see the run details and see what happened. But I think there's something wrong with the syntax of our ETL job. So let me just go back. Let's check it out. I think there's something wrong. Yeah, there's something wrong with the syntax. Let me just fix the syntax real quick. So I was supposed to add my S3 bucket name. So let's go ahead and go to the templates and then grab our outputs. Let's copy the bucket's name and then go back and then add our bucket's name here, and then go ahead and save, and then let's run the job again. Let's go ahead and check our jobs. There you go, the job is running. Let's give it a few minutes to see if the job completes. It failed again. Let's see what's going on with line 31. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, connection type options. And these are the common errors you come across in production, so it's good that this is happening here and we are resolving it. So let's save. Awesome. And then let's rerun it again. Let's come back to our job monitoring. There it is. Let's give it a few seconds, and this just give you a brief summary of all the jobs you've run so far. There it is, it's running. Let's give it a few seconds. It failed again. What's going on? Line 31 again. What's wrong with line 31? I'm just gonna delete the whole template and enter a new one. I don't know why it's failing. Let me go back to the job. Okay, let's grab our bucket name again. Let's replace this with our bucket name and then save. Now let's run again. So let me just go ahead and push the data again and then see if we can run it again. Let's see the job. Let's check our S3 and see if it ran. There you go. So it processed. So the last one we just ran now processed. So I must have had some syntax error with my earlier ones, but this last one now processed successfully. And then if you come back to our S3 bucket, we have two. One is the raw one, and then if you go back and check the processed one, the format should be Parquet. There you go, we have two. So it has transformed it from JSON to Parquet, which is awesome. So the next thing we are going to do now is go back to our glue, and then we're going to run our crawler. So if you come back here and go to crawlers, so our stack created this crawler for us already. So if you go ahead and click it, this is our crawler. So what we're going to do now is to run the crawler. So go ahead and run crawler. It's going to run. So while it's running, if we go to our catalog, over here, if you go to catalogs, we should see a catalog created for us already. And then if we check our glue tables, so once the crawler is done running, let's see if it's done. So it's ready. So if we come back to tables, we should see that a new table has been created for us. So if you refresh, we should see that a new table called processed has been created for us, and it's reading from our buckets in S3. So now for the fun part of it is to query the data with Athena. So let's go to Amazon Athena, and here we'll see that, so for our data source, we have our AWS data catalog, which is the one that the catalog just created for us, our data catalog. Then for our database, it's going to be our database that was created for us right here. It's going to be this database that was created for us. And then just so you know, if you're using Athena for the first time, you need to set up an S3 bucket where the data is going to go to. And then I've already set that up already. So we're going to run this SQL query here. We're going to select and start from the processed bucket, and then we're going to limit 10. So if we go ahead and run this, we should get a result. And this is the temperature from the IoT device that we sent. So if you come back to our cloud shell, this is the data we sent, A123, temperature 25.25, and we queried it with Athena, and this is what we got, the temperature and then the sensor ID. So imagine you have a lot of data, from IoT devices. You can easily query that using Athena, and there you go, we just queried it using Athena. So this Athena spins up the compute resource in the background and executes the query, and then returns the results within seconds. It tells you how many seconds it took to run the query. And then because we converted the data to Parquet, Athena scans significantly less data because it goes by the partitions, which makes the queries faster and much cheaper for us. So this is much cheaper as an enterprise or as an organization. Now we can optionally use QuickSight to visualize this data if we want to. But for this project, I'm not going to be using QuickSight. I'm not going to be using any visualization because it's going to cost me a lot of money, and QuickSight requires you to set up enterprise to be able to use it. So I'm not going to be doing that, but it's an option for you. If you want to use that for your either enterprise or project, you can do that. For this, I'm not going to be using it. This concludes this project for now. So to avoid any unnecessary charges, make sure you go ahead and go to your stack, and then you just go ahead and delete stack, and then you want to go to your glue and then delete your ETL job. Go ahead and delete the job. Now to take this project further, we can automate the glue job too by using Lambda function with the S3 buckets notification trigger. So whenever there's a put object in S3 buckets, then this is just going to automate everything and then run the full cycle for us if we want to. But this concludes this project. If you found this project helpful, please like and subscribe, and watch out for my next project, which is going to be project 17.